Good morning. It's been a couple weeks. Whew, there has been so much that has gone on. Let's chat about it. Excuse the house. It is kind of a hot mess right now, but I just had to leave it. When you guys come in to our house here, I just want you guys to see the real thing. Yes, it's on my to-do list today to tidy up the house for like 20 minutes because that's all I'm allowing and allocating at least during the day. Okay, so as y'all know, our brother and sister-in-law were coming to town. That was a blast. They came in at the end of September and we had so much fun. Though, before they came in, life was a little wild. Matt and I had a really challenging week. We had a lot of trouble with our communication. We ended up hopping on a call with our counselor, and that really helped sort things out. Honestly, it was really just our communication style. My husband is really getting closer to the Lord right now, and it is such a beautiful thing, and I'm getting closer to the Lord too. But my husband has like this new desire in him to get closer to the Lord and honestly like be more like Jesus, and it's such a beautiful thing for me as a wife to see and witness, especially because it's like my husband's not just my husband's my best friend, my true like best friend here on earth. You know, we're one. So it's been such a delight to see. With that comes things that are coming up from past. Long story short, I'm just gonna say like the way we're communicating, it wasn't working. I said something and it was kind of triggering, but he wasn't wrong in it, but I wasn't wrong too. It was more just like how we grew up. Getting deeper and closer to the Lord, it causes you too in your marriage to get deeper with one another, because how your relationship is with the Lord, it's going to have impact on all your other relationships. There's a reflection there. It honestly helped us so much to be even able to have that conversation and to dig in with our counselor. But let me tell y'all, that was a rough week for us. We kind of understood what was going on. We understood something was going on spiritually, and it was like conversationally too. So we're still working on our communication. We're always going to be growing in that, and especially like getting more close to the Lord, the enemy attacking more. When you get closer to the Lord, these are just things we're going to have to keep, you know, going forward and growing in. So there's that to kind of sum that up. I want to leave the details out because it's more personal stuff from backgrounds, is what I'm going to say. You grow up in two imperfect families and you come together and your communication styles are going to be different. And that's really what it was about. So it's learning that, and it's learning how to communicate with one another, how it's going to be effective for you both. But also, how do we do this and love one another and respect one another and look like Jesus in our marriage? And that's really important to us. I do feel like I should tell you guys though, like that week was so challenging for me. Editing, filming wise, it was so challenging because we had stuff going on in our marriage, and that comes right after God for me. And so when that's not right, things feel so challenging. And of course, I still do this and go to work when things are challenging. But that week was just like, we already had so much going on that I was like, I really need to pause, put this down for a second. We need to figure things out here. I need to have more time with the Lord. I had such a busy week that it was really challenging to get that time in for me. So for me, taking a break here really allowed me to get that time in with him. And it was so necessary for me, especially because we were about to have family in town. So anyway, oh my gosh, that Sunday, okay, so this Sunday, that's coming up after like we had that week, kind of carried into the next a little bit, hopped on a call with our counselor. That was amazing. Okay, Then Sunday, we go to church. We have this thing after church. It was kind of like barbecue, food truck, shaved ice. It was so fun. Melting in the sun. Had church service outside, okay? Matt is like ready to leave. And I'm like, oh, I want to go say hi to a friend. So I go say hi to a friend. And Matt's like, hey, while you're gonna say hi, I'm gonna go grab this stuff, like our chairs, because we sat on a lot, and I'll be right over there. And I was like, okay. So Matt walks over, says, hey. We're just chatting. And so Matt's like, hey, I'm gonna go drop this off. So he comes back, we're still chatting. And then Matt's like, hey. And he's talking about a friend and a leader in our church. And he's like, hey, I'll see them over there with football. I'm gonna go. And I'm like, you go, babe. You go have fun. And I'm chatting and I'm just like, I'm so glad he is enjoying himself and having fun now. And we already chatted. We already had said hi to so many people and we were just about to go. I'm just so happy he's gonna go have fun and play football. Matt's going out for a couple passes. I'm chatting. We're like right next to the field where they're playing, so it was perfect. I still got to watch Matt like catch all these balls. It was really fun. Okay, then Matt goes to run route. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, goes and he's running. And then his friend comes over and whacks the football down super duper hard. Or like as hard as he could. He said something like that. Hold on one sec. And throws Matt off balance. And Matt tumbles 1, 2, 3. And I'm watching all of this happen. And my friend's chatting and I'm like, I'm so sorry. My husband just did 3 like somersaults on the field. I don't know if he's okay. I'm watching and Matt like walks to the middle of the field and lays down. Like, you know, in a football game, how the hurt person literally lays down and everyone comes to huddle around. That's what happened to my husband. I'm so sorry. I need to go check if he's okay. So I go down and they're laughing. There's a leader of our church down there and he's laughing so hard and like bumps my shoulder and he's cracking up and I'm laughing and I'm like, dude, are you messing with me? Like Matt has a sense of humor like this. I'm like, are you messing with me? Like, what is going on? I was like, I watched the whole thing happen. Like, are you okay? Literally that week, Matt already hurt his toe running sprints. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, like he was basically limping already. So it's the same leg, except his knee now. I guess he smacked it incredibly hard. By the way, I will literally put a picture of his toe right here for you. Just fast forward. If you don't want to see this, I'll put it right here. That's what it looked like already. After a couple more passes, he was done. He was like, we need to go home. And I was like, okay. So we go home. takes his pants off and sees like it's already so big. And the next day, it was literally like that much above his knee. We were just like, oh my gosh. That is finally healing up. It was really, really bad. I don't know if we have a picture of when he hurt it super bad and it like fully came bruised, but it was massive, swollen, really bad. So that was the weekend before our brother and sister got here. Okay, then they got here. We stayed up so late. We continued to stay up till like 2 in the morning, midnight to 2 in the morning. Matt's and my bedtime is like 9 to 10. And we wake up from 5 to 6 every morning. So, and lately we have not been. We have just been trying to get sleep. But we realized once you like hit a threshold, it's like you cannot catch up on sleep as well as you once could when you were younger. And so Matt and I feel like we have literally been recovering from staying up late. We just cannot do it anymore. Anyway, so we had so much fun with John and Noelle. We showed them around Nashville. They wanted to look at some neighborhoods there, more like sections of Nashville that they haven't seen yet. And it was good for us because we haven't seen certain parts too. We went to a massive food hall there. It's called 5th and Broadway. If you ever come to Nashville, it is like off Wild Broadway. They have a ton of food. We went to a lot of coffee shops and it was just such a good time with family. And it really felt like they were not meant to leave. So what's been going on now? Pregnancy. I am gonna continue taking progesterone. I did have a negative pregnancy test this past month, or this month, I think it was at the beginning of this month. So I'm gonna continue doing that on this month's cycle. I will keep y'all posted on that and our journey along that, but that is really the update I have on that right now. I don't know if I said this yet, but I took it for about a week and I went in to test how my progesterone levels were. Y'all, such a blessing. My highest without any progesterone was 5.7. 1 week after taking that little pill, which by the way, literally is like a godsend. I pray over it every time I take it because you have no idea what's necessarily inside. I took it for a week and my levels were at almost 23. It was at 22.9. So all the Lord, like only the Lord. Huge, huge praise. So after that, it was really nice to kind of slow down, and I had so much time with the Lord recently, and that is something I really want to make a priority personally, that I just have more time with the Lord untimed, especially on the days that I can, right when I wake up in the morning. It has seriously been a major change for me. And I know when I was younger, not married, I did that so much more. I was able to do that so much more, and I still can. I just need to be more intentional about it now. And so that is what I'm currently working on doing. It was so nice to just kind of be able to slow down and take that time. It's been really, really good and sweet. I know I already updated you about Matt. Matt's heart is really to grow closer to the Lord and to just have a different intimate relationship with him that is so like real and intentional. He really desires to spend more time with him too. That's just such an amazing thing to hear as a wife. Anyway, we've been both in 2 groups. Well, I have 2 groups a week and Matt has 1 group a week. One of them is the same. He goes to the guys, I go to the women's. It just ended up working out like that time-wise. We are going through the same workbook. We are at different places in the workbook though. So these groups aren't necessarily connected. It's just the same workbook. And it's ran by a husband and wife. Those groups have been growing me so much. I've been learning so much. Things that have been on my heart through this workbook and the book we're going through. We're reading this book. It has been amazing. It is written by a pastor. It's been so amazing for my life. It has really helped me to slow down and slow my time with God down and really press in. It has really given me a new desire to do what Jesus did, walk how Jesus walks. And there are a lot of things in the Bible that we know Jesus did. Like Jesus woke up early and spent time with his dad. And so that's something I want to do, and so many other things. It has been awesome. Something that has really impacted me recently from reading that book is Jesus was never in a hurry and content where he was at the time he was. Something that was in the book that really made me start to think was, can you imagine Jesus picking up his iPhone, and giving you partial attention? I just was like, oh my gosh. That just describes so much of our culture and society and the things that we do constantly out of habits that we have created with technology and other things like TV and everything else, right? And that really hit me, and I was like, wow, I really need to slow down and I really need to be present where I am. So that's something I'm learning there. In my other group, so amazing, so good. I will actually link the workbook below. I think I'll be able to find it. I have had so many convictions of the last chapter we read. It was about forgiveness, humility, and love. how that looks biblically. Walking in humility really got me. Something I've now been praying about is like, Lord, show me where I'm not humble. So they do videos attached to this workbook. And something that one of the videos was saying is humility is whether you're good at something or you're bad at something, and you can admit those things. That's just an example. There's, of course, so many other ways. And I was like, wow, think of all the times we get like a compliment and we brush it off or something instead of saying thank you, or even admitting, can you admit your weaknesses and can you admit what you're good at? And I think that's something that we all can probably work on to a degree. I know I can totally work on stuff like that, and in so many more areas. I remember compliments were really challenging for me to take. Now I know I can take a compliment, but I also know I justify sometimes. That's just like one area for me. I have so many areas that I would love to have the Lord reveal to me in being humble. These groups have been so good for me to be a part of, and these women's groups are so sweet. Oh, I love them so much, and it's just been such a great way for Matt and I to both build community here. Overall, Matt and I are doing really good. This week has been such a better week, and our communication has improved. We are going over enjoying God at church right now, and so that has truly has helped both of us. Something that has truly helped me recently that I not learned, but it was brought to my attention that we need to apply this. And it is, I will put it right here, your will be done on earth as in heaven. And Jesus taught us to pray like this. And so something I have been doing is in my prayer time, kind of after each thing I pray, I have been praying that. And I have felt the Lord so much, like his presence, and knowing he is going to take care of this. It's like this was missing from my prayer life in a way. And I did pray, Lord, your will be done. I have never applied on earth as in heaven to my prayer life. And I feel like it is just radically changing so much for me. So I encourage you to pray and apply that, because that is Jesus's prayer he taught. So anyway, that is a little bit about what's been going on in our life these past 2 weeks. And also, Matt's and my 5th anniversary is this weekend. I am so excited. I don't know what we're gonna do, but oh my gosh, 5 years is a big one. We have no plans, which is kind of how we live our life recently, and it's been amazing. So maybe we'll sit down and dream together, I don't know, over a meal. We will see. Anyway, I love you guys. I hope you were encouraged through this. I have been so encouraged lately through the groups I'm in, through the people I've been around, and really being intentional about things and life. I believe we are posting a video this Saturday. If it is not up this Saturday, it will be up next week. And I'm so excited to get back on our schedule. All right, I love y'all. See you soon. Bye.